I'm gonna talk about my life just a little bit today. I just want to quickly first off say, I know who my troll is on YouTube who keeps disliking all my videos, and it's funny how much this person doesn't like me and how much trouble they go through just to go and dislike every video, especially if I don't post the video and it's only on my YouTube page. Just know, people like you keep me motivated, and I've been through hell and back, so you aren't nothing to me. But thanks, baby girl. Anyway, even from a young age, I've been through a lot. When I was little, itty bitty little, I lost my grandpa. I remember my parents telling me all my grandpa really wanted to watch me grow up because I looked just like my great-great-grandma or great-great-aunt, one of the two, and he just wanted to see if I grew up and looked exactly like her as if he thought I was going to. So I really don't know. But I remember when he died, we had to rush over to his house, and he was still laying in bed, you know, just lifeless. And I remember standing in the doorway, you know, really close to the door frame, and just looking at him. And then soon after that, my Aunt Becky, I think it was, came barging in through the door and ran past me onto his body, jumped onto his body and was like beating on his chest saying, "Dad, wake up, you know." And then finally I got pulled away from the door. So even at a young age, I was exposed to things I shouldn't have, and I'm way too used to death. For my grandpa, he's a little bit older, I think. And my great-grandma was dying. You know, one of those grandmas, how you always go and visit on their birthday and it keeps the family together. That's the kind of grandma she was. I remember she was dying and she had a hospice at the house, my other grandma's house, and when I checked on her, I just stood there and looked at her. It was so creepy, because she was one of those old ladies, like super old. She was like 94, 95 when she died, and her body's from like not eating or nothing. She was like one of those skeleton ladies. She was really hated looking at that. And I swear to this day I remember her taking her last breath, and I didn't know what that was. I just, you know, didn't really think nothing of it coming from a young age. But soon after that, either one of the parents or adults went to go check on her, and then, yep, that was it. She was gone. And the ambulance people came and took her away. And then I remember my uncle dying from a heart attack because he was overweight. I remember that funeral. We drove really far for that one. And I had a best friend, Josh. We called him Caveman. I was little at the time, but I remember his smile. It used to just bright up the whole room, and his laugh was just absolutely amazing. He was always the type of person that you never knew he was really hurting inside. And he actually killed himself with a girl who didn't want to like be with him. And that was crazy. Because he took a bottle of pills and had a seizure, fell off his bed and broke his neck. And the girl who didn't want to be with him had the nerve to show up to the funeral, even though it's not her fault, you know, but still you should have the common courtesy not to show up at the funeral, in my opinion. And he died. My brother, when I was little, I used to babysit his two kids. He had a whole thing going on to where his baby mama wouldn't let him see his two boys most of the time. He was always the type of dude who would struggle with pills and alcohol and always mix the two, and then one day it just, you know, mixed it and OD. Oh, he died. So much death. Just a whole bunch. I lost my uncle. I think it was my Uncle Tony, that's what I called him. He was my brother's dad. And I remember when he died, I didn't really know him, but I got to visit him here and there whenever we went over there. And he was a motorcycle guy. Apparently he was dying anyway. And so some say whenever he drove his motorcycle down at the riverfront, that he purposely sped into this curve, which flipped him, and you know, there's that. And I remember the hospital right up there. I remember there being donuts in the waiting room. I don't think I actually went back into the room to go check on him, you know, to go say my goodbyes or nothing. But not too far after my Uncle Tony dying, I remember my big brother, he took it really, really hard, and he's someone I always looked up to. I remember doing my homework at my grandma's house, where he was living at the time, and he came. I was eating fried chicken. I was on the ground doing my homework, eating fried chicken, and here he comes wobbling down the upstairs steps, drunk as can be, with the shotgun in his hand. And he just wanted to die. These are one of those instances. He actually had the shotgun, he put it to him and pulled the trigger, and then there was no bullets in it. And then from there, we took him to the hospital, and I remember being in the front seat of this minivan, and he was trying to open the sliding door in the back, and I remember unbuckling myself and holding this door back so he couldn't, you know, open and jump out of it. I don't know if he was just too drunk to fight back, or if he just didn't want to fight back, but I know we made it to the hospital, and he was, you know, put on suicide watch, and he's good now. You know, he worked through it and everything, and thankfully he's not dead. Then, you know, I've lost coworkers, I've lost friends, I've lost family, I've lost a whole list of people. It's crazy how, you know, one day they're here and the next day they're gone, just so quickly. I remember not too long ago, I lost my godmother, and she was one of the most important people in my life. Diabetes slowly took her life away. It was terrible to watch. I could go to her and ask her anything, and she'd tell me the truth. This lady was everything to me. And even till this day, I just think of it and I want to cry, because one more hug, one more conversation, just something. That would be amazing, just to have just one last thing to hold on to. Because all I now have, all I have is her ashes next to my nightstand, and her cane, and her Superman ring, and it's just, I'd give all that back just to have her. And it sucks, because so far I've lost over 20 close people in my life. It sucks, because, you know, once they're gone, they're gone. There's no ticking time clock about when you're gonna lose them. It just happens. Oh, it sucks. But I'm gonna wrap this video up. There's just a little bit about my life that I'd like for y'all to know about. I don't want no sympathy, no sorrow, no nothing like that. I just want for you guys to have a better understanding of who I am. If you ever lost somebody, just know they're always looking over you, and whether they're here physically or not, they're still always here for you. There'll be times where, you know, your luck runs out, but then boom, something happens and you realize you have someone looking over you. Just try not to take every day for granted, because we're not here forever. Just because we're in perfect health doesn't mean we're gonna wake up tomorrow. That's it. I gotta go take this dog out to potty. Thanks for watching.